Hello watch lovers, you join me today for another roundup of recent releases. We've got some of the awesomest new watches from the Geneva Watch Days event, as well as some hot drops from the wider watch world. We've got an exciting fruity double from an unlikely brand collab, and an absolute masterpiece from a German giant. But first, let's just get straight into it with the latest chapter in the Who Can Make the Thinnest Mechanical Watch Ever Made in the World saga. Yes, here comes a new challenger emerging from the side hatch out of left field unexpectedly. It's Konstantin Chaykin, and this is the Thin King, with a record-breaking thickness of 1.65 millimeters. 1.65 millimeters! That's just an absolutely disgusting measurement. That's like the same thickness as a sand or something. So the movement is integrated into the watch case, as is the style with these ultra-thin watches, and in classic Chaykin style, the watch is another of his googly-eyed wrist monsters, with the separate hour and minute indicators forming the eyes of the character, and the brand logo engraved on the watch and curved in an arc to form a smile. And in addition to being stupidly thin, the Thin King is also stupidly light too. At only 13.3 grams, it's about as heavy as a AAA battery. Heavens to Betsy. Hey, were you just going to forget about the Tissot PRX just then? Well, don't you dare, because look, here's some new ones. The 70s style steel sports stunner that is the Tissot PRX relaunched in 2021 to rapturous applause and a tidal wave of cash for Tissot, and since then the brand has continued to expand the line, aka milk it, with fresh new colours and materials and exciting new iterations. Or not. And now they seem to be targeting coffee-spilling office Poindexters, the kind who like to photocopy their forearm at the office Christmas party. And if that sounds like you, then you might enjoy these new gradient dials. These are new Tissot PRX Powermatic 80 models, adorning the waffle pattern dial with some cool gradients, transitioning from either an icy blue to a metallic blue or a black to a metallic blue. Very striking indeed, and some of the best of the PRX bunch, I think. With these you get the automatic Powermatic 80 movement, and of course the cool boxy 70s style case in 40mm diameter, and these ones will cost you £640, and there's also a forged carbon version available on a black rubber strap. Or if that's not your thing, then what about Grendizer? Everyone loves Grendizer, don't they? Of course they do. Now, once again, our Lange Söhne continues to astound with yet another masterpiece. This is luxury watchmaking of the highest order with the Lange Söhne Datograph Handwerkskunst. And this latest model boasts rare and exceedingly sophisticated finishing, resulting in a dial that is truly unique. So the dial features tremblage engraving, which is a kind of stippling effect where the engraver uses a specially crafted tool to create a fine-grained surface. The entirety of the black rhodiumed main dial, as well as the rhodiumed light grey subdials, are worked on, resulting in a three-dimensional texture which subtly reflects the light. Meanwhile, the edges of all the applied markers and Roman numerals are chamfered and decorated with straight graining. Then we have a lavishly finished movement, and even by our Lange Söhne's already lavish standards, this manufacture caliber L9518 is extremely lavish. The lever components of the chronograph mechanism all feature black polishing, which is considered to be one of the most challenging finishing techniques. Then there's the famous hand-engraved balance cock with a vine motif, always a beautiful focal point, but this time even more. So unlike a conventional Lange engraving where the pattern is cut into the material, for this piece the vine pattern is relief engraved. And the whole thing comes together in a yellow gold case with a diameter of 41mm. Now you'd think with this kind of fastidious detail this watch would be a one-off. But no, Lange has cranked out 25 of these exquisite beasts, so check your local Lange boutique for pricing and availability. Now, who would like a beautifully finished watch with a dial depicting the scenery of the Japanese countryside? You know where this is going. This is the Grand Seiko Icefall High Beat 1998 Revival. It's a high-beat mechanical watch depicting the fantastic scenery of a frozen waterfall on its dial that one might encounter in the dead of winter on Mount Iwate. And is that this same mountain visible from the Grand Seiko studio where this watch is made? Of course it is. Nanatake is a 30-metre waterfall that originates from a stream that flows down Mount Iwate, and during the coldest time of the year the waterfall freezes over, creating massive icicles, and this dial of this watch represents that frozen waterfall with its bluish white colour and shimmery vertically brushed surface. The high beat movement inside is the Caliber 9S85 with 10 beats per second for stable precision and greater accuracy, and the watch is 37mm in diameter and fashioned from Grand Seiko's exclusive Ever Brilliant steel that boasts the title of World's Most Corrosion Resistant Stainless Steel Alloy, which is choice. The watch is due for release in October and will cost £5,950. Sweet deal. And next we have a rather handsome expansion, a sexy bolstering, if you will, to the Longines Legend Diver collection. So to mark the 65th anniversary, the revered Longines Legend Diver collection is being expanded with new polished lacquered dials in green, terracotta and anthracite grey, as well as black and blue too. It's presented in a 39mm stainless steel case, which is water resistant up to 300 metres and rated to ISO standards in accordance with everyone's favourite independent chronometer testing body, the COSC. And they're powered by the exclusive Longines Caliber L8886. And then of course there's the lovely vintage stylings on this watch, the glossy lacquered dial and high polished case, and the two crowns of Longines' own creation, the internal rotating bezel system that protects the bezel from accidental manipulation. These watches cost £3,100 on a steel bracelet with a micro-adjusting folding clasp. Good one. Next, we have a sports chronograph for purists. This is the Tudor Black Bay Chrono Blue Boutique Edition. This is Tudor's motorsport heritage chronograph watch, but with an awesome blue dial and bezel in what Tudor is calling Tudor Blue. It's a blue hue that taps into Tudor's rich tradition of incorporating blue dials into all the lines of the collection. Anyway, the watch features all your favourite Tudor gubbins, a domed satin sunbrush dial in Tudor Blue, of course, with contrasting silver subdials, a satin brushed and polished case in stainless steel and 41mm diameter, has a fixed bezel in steel with an aluminium insert in Tudor Blue, of course, with a tachymeter scale, and inside is the mighty manufacturer chronograph caliber MT5813, COSC certified and with a silicon balance spring and 70-hour power reserve, and the chronograph function features a column wheel construction and vertical clutch. The watch costs £4,880 and it's only available inside Tudor boutiques, so don't bother trying to add it to cart on their website because you'll probably just get the Tudor Blue screen of death come up on your computer. So now we have a watch with a dial depicting the beautiful scenery of the Japanese countryside. You know where this is going, again. This is the Grand Seiko Atera Valley Spring Drive SLGA025 from the Evolution 9 collection. With a shimmery dial in a vivid blue-green design with a new pressed pattern inspired by the running waters flowing through the Atera Valley of the Shinshu area. And if you were perhaps wondering if this area of outstanding natural beauty was anywhere near where all the Grand Seiko Spring Drive watches are handcrafted, then yes it is. The case and bracelet of this watch come in a high-intensity titanium, and it's powered by Grand Seiko's Spring Drive Caliber 9RA2, which features the power reserve indicator on the back, hurrah, which helps slim down the watch's profile and doesn't interfere with the beautiful texture on the dial. The dial furniture is finished awesomely, as to be expected, as is the Spring Drive movement, which, FYI, has a subtle feeling of Shinshu frost, a conceptualization of the frost that can be seen throughout the Shinshu region during periods of intense cold. So there you go, double depictions of Japanese nature with this watch. My heart can scarcely take it. Also has a water resistance of 100 meters, so if you feel like a plunge into the emerald green waters of the Atera Valley while wearing this watch, then theoretically you can. But be safe. Anyway, 40mm, £9,550. Enjoy yourself. Next, we have an update for the Mad 1. This is Maximilian Busser's more affordable offering, a watch made as thanks to all of his friends, fans and well-wishers. This is the watch that features a madly spinning rotorweight, shaped like something you might see being brandished in Mortal Kombat. And this is the next generation, Mad 1S, with the S standing for slimmer, single cylinder and Swiss-made movement. So previously, in a bid to make the watch more affordable, MB's team opted to modify a dependable Japanese Miyota movement. Not only did that keep the cost down, but it also helped grant the unidirectional winding needed to achieve the signature allure of the wildly swinging rotorweight. But now this revised Mad 1S plays host to an automatic Lange Söhne G101 movement. And the entire case and lugs have been redesigned too, and it all contributes to a much slimmer profile of 20% thinner than the previous Mad 1 editions. It comes in blue or a snazzy purple dial, and the current limited run costs 2,900 Swiss francs. They're all gone, but stay tuned to MB&F for dibs on one of the next batch. So next, Breitling have been very busy and they've gone and done something gorgeous. In a first for the brand, they've created an exclusive perpetual calendar chronograph movement, all fully designed and assembled at the Breitling Chronometry Willikers. This is the caliber B19 and it features a full perpetual calendar, able to run for a century without any major adjustments, and it's also a chronograph because Breitling loves a chronograph, as do we all. So you get the full calendar, automatically correcting for leap years and the standard months of 28, 30 and 31 days. It gets a moon phase display and a very impressive power reserve of 96 hours. And as part of their 140th anniversary, they've gone and stuffed it into limited editions of 3 flagship models, the Premiere, the Navitimer and the Chronomat. Each model is limited to just 140 pieces and they individually cost £48,000. Lovely watches, beautiful and technically impressive, so a gold star for Breitling. Passion fruit, get your passion fruit watch, £50,000 a pair. No, I'm not selling fruit down at the market anymore, and I don't miss it. No, I'm talking about this pair of watches, the result of an unexpected collaboration between luxurious Swiss watchmaker H. Moser and Company and indie darling studio Underdog. Both brands are known for injecting a bit of fun and humour into the mouldy old watch industry and have created a watch inspired by the humble passion fruit. There's the H. Moser Endeavour Perpetual Calendar with its purple lacquered sunburst dial and a Solero inspired enamel dial with a hammered texture on an 18 karat yellow gold base. Then there's the Studio Underdog, the 03 series passion fruit, a mono pusher chronograph watch with a multi-layer dial, again in purple and hammered textured yellow. Then round the back is the new Swiss Solita mono pusher SW510M movement with its custom finished bridge exclusively made for the Underdog. Very nice. These are limited to 100 pairs for 59,000 Swiss francs. That's around £50,000, so it works out. Well, that about does it. I hope you've enjoyed this roundup and it's got you pumped up about watches. And if so, then why not head over to watchfinder.com and check out our selection. We've got all the best watches from all the top brands. So if you're looking for your next pre-owned luxury watch, check it out and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.